Hello and welcome to the BetHelper betting preview. The game we're going to be looking at today is the other game in Group C. It's USA versus Algeria, scheduled for Wednesday the 23rd of June at 3 p.m. So same time kickoff as the England game. The venue for this one is Pretoria, and having a look at the Asian markets, there has been a bit of a move in the handicaps there. It started off at USA minus 0.75 and now it's changed to USA minus zero point 0.5, so that kind of indicates a bit of support for Algeria. I think there's been a bit of money on them since they managed to draw against England, and they actually played pretty well as well. And currently at this new lower handicap, America's odds are actually drifting slightly, which is a bit of a surprise. And Algeria's odds are actually shortening at this new handicap. So what you might see here is that the handicap might actually change again. Could go down to 0.25. So again, we're going to have to monitor that now in the next 24 hours. The unders and overs market. The unders here, the handicap is 2.25. So they're expecting 2 goals here. The price has shortened. It's shortened from 2.11 down to 1.9. So after drifting slightly to 1.95. Obviously, it's not as short as it once was, but it is considerably shorter than it was a couple of days ago. Having a look at the bet exchanges, the odds in the USA have drifted slightly. They were gone from 1.98 up to 2.02, so they're losing a bit of support. The odds in Algeria have stayed flat. It's at 4.2, so they're not really expecting too many goals, or not expecting an Algerian victory. The odds in the draw have actually shortened slightly. They've gone from 3.8 down to 3.37, or 3.7, sorry. So they are expecting, is after gaining a bit of support. In terms of the over 2.5 goal market, it stayed flat at 2.3, so they're expecting unders here. Having a look at the percentages matched at the betting exchanges, at the moment it's only about 400,000 that's matched. So again, that will go up massively in the next 24 hours, so we'll be able to get a better indication then. Currently, the USA make up 76% of that matched market. Algeria make up 16% with 8% for the draw, so it's quite a surprisingly high number there on Algeria to win. I would have expected the draw to have been actually bigger, the bigger than of the two. Looking at the overs has actually decreased. It was at 21%, now it's at 16%, so they're not really expecting overs in this game. Algeria actually haven't scored yet, so that's probably why. Having a look at the bookies, the USA have drifted slightly. They've gone from 1.9 down to 2.0, and meanwhile Algeria have shortened. They've gone from 4.20 down to 4s, so a bit of support there for them as well. At the draw is also shortened as well. It's gone from 3.5 down to 3.4, so a little bit of support for the draw on that one. The overs are 2.1, and they've been that way for a while now. So again, unders they're more favourite at the bookmakers, but it's not much in it at the moment. Looking at the form, USA have pretty average form. They've 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses in the last 6 games, so nothing special there. They also drew 2-2 with Slovenia, where they actually came back from 2-0 down, which is the first time they've done that in a World Cup. They also drew 1-1 with England. They also came from 1 behind there, so the fighting spirit in this American team is not to be questioned. Looking at Algeria, it's pretty terrible form. They've 1 win and 1 draw in the last 6 games. That draw being their game against England, where they finished 0-0. They lost 1-0 to Slovenia, so they've actually yet to score in the World Cup. It's kind of hard to see where their goals are going to come from, as they do seem to lack a finisher up front. This will be the first meeting between the two teams. A win for either will secure their place in the next round if England fail to get a win versus Slovenia. And USA have won their last 2 games versus African countries. Algeria have lost their last 2 games versus CONCACAF countries, which is the confederation that England or the America are part of. Donovan is top scorer for America. He's got 43 goals and 125 internationals. He scored the other day, and he is their top scorer along with Clint Dempsey in the World Cup. the USA failed to win in their last 7 group games. They've drawn 4 of their last games at the group stages, and 3 defeats there. America have yet to keep a clean sheet in 18 first-round games. That actually stretches back to their victory over America back in 1950. So it's a bit of a long run there. So maybe Algeria might actually get their chance to break their duck as well. And again, Algeria haven't scored in 4 World Cup games, so another record there that might get extended. In terms of the rankings, America come in at 14th on the FIFA rankings, while they're 20th on the ELO rankings. Algeria 30th in the FIFA rankings, while they're 76th in the ELO rankings, so it kind of suggests they're in terrible form. The referee for this one, couldn't find the information on FIFA.com, so I'm not 100% sure who the ref is for this one yet. Maybe check out tomorrow if you are interested in that. I'll have some updates as soon as I find out who the ref is. I'll have the stats on him. So that's twitter.com/BetHelper. The injuries for this one, Tim Howard has a rib injury that he picked up in his last game against Slovenia. And Josie Altidore actually sat out training today for America, so he might miss out as well. It's not 100% sure what is wrong with him at the moment. In terms of goals scored during qualifying, America averaged 1.9 goals scored per game, while they averaged 1.3 goals conceded per game. And Algeria have an average of 1.5 goals scored per game, while they conceded an average of 0.66 goals per game. Looking at the probabilities, the computer probabilities, which is the stats and market movement indicator, gives USA a 61% chance of victory. Algeria come in at 24%, which is a bit higher. Probably takes into consideration their recent improvement at the betting exchanges. And the draw comes in at 15%, so again you can see that's shorter than what the bookmakers will have. Then if you look at the bookmakers odds, the implied probabilities for a USA victory is 50%, so that might suggest that they are a good value at their current odds. Algeria have a 24% chance of victory, so that is actually spot on. And while the draw accounts for 26%, that's a bit higher than the computer probabilities, which, as we've become accustomed to, is always the case with bookmakers who seem to have lower odds on the draw. And in terms of suggestions, there's been huge money movements on Algeria and the Asian handicaps. We look at that tomorrow, see if the handicap changes again, or if indeed Algeria lose a bit of support in the important 24 hours before a game. I'd also look at the over 2 goal market. Wouldn't go for the over 2.5 just yet. Of course, we'll have to wait until we see the teams and, of course, the market movements to make a proper judgment on that one. So check out twitter.com/BetHelper for the update on the ref and the other market movements. Leave any comments below and subscribe to the channel.